Hi Noelle, I'm Libby Ellis. I'm the creator of Very Veggie Christmas, which is an adaptation of the 12 Days of Christmas, celebrating a new vegetable each day. I also have a Very Veggie Christmas coloring book, which is made of line drawings of the same vegetables that are really awesome for the wee ones. Here's a sample spread. 5 golden beets. Yum. So today I am going to show you how I created the screen prints for my book. Let's get started. First thing you need, veggie. Now I'm lucky enough that I have a neighbor, Farmer John, who grows veggies. So this is from his garden. If you have your own garden, you can use your own veggies, which is awesome. And if not, go to your local farmer's market, or maybe you live near another farm and you can go get a veggie, or a store. So let's get started. So I have my veggie, my squash, and in my book, on the 7th day of Christmas, that's funny. On the 7th day of Christmas, it's 7 squash are roasting. And here's one of the 7 squash. This squash inspired this screen print, and I'm going to show you how I made that. Okay, so I like to keep things really simple. This is good old number 2 pencil. Perfect. This paper that I'm using is just computer paper, laser writer paper. It's thin, which is perfect to cut through, which we're going to be doing. So the first thing you want to do is a sketch of your veggies. So I'm getting to know Mr. Squash, taking a good look, and I'm just going to do a very loose drawing. See how I'm just looking at the squash? Very loose. I'm not worried about all the details. I really want it to feel made by hand and not created on the computer. I love the computer, it's an awesome tool, but I want this to feel made by hand, which it is. Okay, so, kind of looks like a pear. Uh-oh, I have a squash pear. Yeah, I do. Okay, so, here is my sketch. And here's my squash. It kind of looks like a pear. It also kind of looks like a really skinny eggplant, but it's amazing once you start looking at fruits and veggies that so many things in nature look alike, and I love that. Okay, so we have our sketch. I'm going to put this away. Excellent. Now we take the cutting mat and an X-Acto blade. And Noelle, this is not a Martha Stewart cutting mat or craft knife. Don't tell Martha, okay? I have other tools of hers that are awesome, but I don't have that. So forgive me. Okay, so back to the squash. So this part, I very loosely will trim out, and some people like to rotate the paper when you're cutting out your image. I like to rotate the paper and move my hand. Sometimes it's good to do this sitting down. You get a better cut, especially if you're not totally comfortable working with the X-Acto blade. And the other thing, don't let kids do this. I mean, it's a knife. So here I am, I'm cutting my squash, la la la. Okay, I'm almost done. And see how I'm just rotating my sketch? Okay, perfect. Squash, squash. We don't need this. I'll save this for later, and I'll save this for later for lunch. Okay, so now I have my stencil. Voila. I have my stencil. I'm going to use this to put on the screen. This is a silk screen. Well, technically it's not a silk screen. It's made of polyester, but originally these were made of silk, hence the name silk screen. So this is my screen, this is my stencil, this is my squash. So pencil side down, I'm centering it on the screen. I don't really care, it doesn't have to be perfect. Again, made by hand. I'm using good old Scotch tape just to lightly tape this to the screen. So it's secure, it's not going to fall off. I don't have to worry about it being really flat to the screen because once I apply the first pass of ink, the ink is going to adhere this to the screen. So we don't need to worry about that. Okay, I'm ready to go. It's as easy as that. We're ready to print. Next step, paper. I like to line my paper up with the edge of the table. That way I'm not futzing with measuring things and placing things. I just know that if it's on the edge of the table and my screen's on the edge of the table, then everything's going to line up. If you're working on a round table, I don't know what to say. I think I don't know how that would work. I think that might be a little bit harder. Okay, so where are we now? So now we've got our paper, we have our screen. I'm lining that up at the edge of the table. And the other tools we're going to need, squeegee, good old squeegee. And ink. Now, here's the awesome thing about ink. It's not paint. It kind of looks like a toothpaste tube, and the ink actually comes out and has the consistency of a toothpaste. So it's kind of thick, and that's important to know because we are actually going to push the ink through the screen to pull the print. Some people like to mix their inks on a little palette and then put it on their screen. I like to use multiple colors at the same time because in nature, these veggies are grown with, this has the most beautiful green. So the veggies are grown with multiple colors, and I like to capture that organic good feeling. So I just put the ink, like a bead of ink, yikes. I'm going to do a little piece of paper right here just to protect it for right now. I like to put the ink right on the screen. So I put a little yellow, mellow yellow, and then brown's going to come to town. Oh, that's a pleasant sound. Okay, and I think a little orangey. I feel like the colors are my friends, and I like to give them nicknames. I really don't know how that happened. Oh my god, these inks are making the worst sounds. Better test drive those next time. Okay, so here's the dealio. Here's the ink. You see the ink? Not necessarily a small bead of ink, but I want you to see that they're not dripping down. Of course, as soon as I say that, they drip down. What? Come on, ink. It's because it's a new tube. That's okay. It's not YouTube, it's a new tube. All right. Art and life is full of happy accidents and happenstance, and that's just the way it goes. Okay, the squash knows. Okay, so I'm going to take the squeegee, and I'm using my left hand to anchor the screen to the table and the paper because I don't want the screen sliding around. Now, I'm going to be quiet when I pull the ink down towards me and through the screen because there's a certain magical sound that you get, and that's when you know that the ink is really going through. So here we go. Did you hear that? Awesome. Okay, so I'm going up to the top, pulling it down again. And I like to do it one more time just for good luck. Okay, looking good. So put that aside. And here's the part that's like Christmas. Every print is like Christmas morning. No two are alike, which I love. No two veggies are alike, which I love. So I'm going to hold the paper down, and I'm pulling up the screen to reveal the print. And voila! Now, this color scheme doesn't exactly look like this. It's my interpretation of the squash. I might pull 30 prints like this until I get one perfect print that I want to use for a book. And as I go through all those prints, the colors blend and expand and shift, and somehow I always magically end up with the color that it was always meant to be. So that's fun. Okay, so there's our squash. The 30 prints that I sometimes print, some of them are here, and I just want to show you just for 1 minute. Here are the peppers piping. Oh my gosh, these peppers, they were so much fun to print. And then we have 5 golden beets. And I did the 5 golden beets on black. I just thought that was so beautiful. Oh my gosh. Okay, so we had 5 golden beets, 4 cabbage heads, 3 French beans. This is hard to see because it's wet on white. 2 garlic bulbs, and a pepper in a pear tree. I'm not a singer, I'm a visual artist. I think you already know that though. Okay, so that's the scoop. It's easy to do, it's simple. It's as simple as planting a garden, it really is. It's an indoor garden. We are creating an indoor, I have my indoor garden, my Christmas garden. I never thought of that before, I love that. Oh, okay, so that's it. I hope you like what you see. Thank you for sharing the veggie love. Peace, love, and veggies. Yum!